Hi, welcome to Baby2Sleep's 12 Days of Christmas series. Today I'm joined by Emily from Morgan DuBoulay, who's got some absolutely incredible gift ideas for your little ones, whether they're newborn, whether they're toddlers, whether they're teenagers. She's got something for everybody, and I'm actually so excited about this one for you. First of all, I'm just going to pass you over to Emily just to give you a little bit of a background as to why she set this business up, because she's got some really good thoughts behind what she actually wants to do with regards to positivity and good positive reinforcement with regards to helping children on their journey. So I'm just going to hand you over to Emily just to tell you a little bit about who she is and where this came from.
Hi, thank you. My name's Emily and I run Morgan DuBoulay, and it's named after my grandparents, and they were very romantic, and we were very fortunate to have a wonderful childhood with them, where we were lucky enough to enjoy the fields and the countryside, and they had chickens, and I had this amazing childhood from my grandparents, to say why it's named after them. And I wanted all of the toys that I stock to promote that kind of positive lifestyle that I had, that's left me with really good self-esteem and sort of excellent mental health, really. And I've very much put that down to my childhood and those experiences that I had. And hopefully through my gifts, I can give those to other people as well to experience.
Oh, that's brilliant. So what was it that made you set the business up? What was it that made you go, do you know what? I want to start selling these types of things. I want to do it now.
Well, I've always wanted to have a toy shop, and there's never the right time, is there? And one day I just woke up and I thought, that's it, I'm going to do it. The Morgan is my granddad and the DuBoulay is my grandma, and they were Mr. and Mrs. Morgan, obviously, once they got married. So that's where that came from. And I just started looking at the toys available. I had a very clear picture in my mind from bringing up my son around the toys that sort of hadn't worked so well. I was quite upset by the amount of plastic, and I realised that a lot of the commercial toys and the branded toys didn't actually promote positivity, and they kind of resulted in an awful lot of clutter. So what I wanted to do was focus on those gifts that had really sort of enhanced his well-being, enhanced his learning at school. I'm a Cub Scout leader as well, so I get to see lots of children and the kind of things that they enjoy. And I just incorporated that into the buying list, and I made sure that I tried everything. And the wonderful thing is, without having a manager myself, I can decide what I want to buy and how I want to sell it, which is really great fun.
Oh, fantastic. So I had a quick chat with Emily before we actually came on, and I was having a look at some of the actual toys that she's got, and they are fantastic. And it's not just the fact that she's got toys, that's the fact that they're eco-friendly. Everything about what she's doing is absolutely fantastic, which fits so well at the moment with everything to do with climate change as well. And the stuff that she's got, it's all about positivity, which is absolutely amazing. Right from babies, toddlers, to these beautiful necklaces that she's got for teenagers as well. First off, I'm going to mention the Stifes. So I absolutely love this, because for me, I bought Sophia a Stife when she went up. The day I found out I was having a girl, I went out and I bought her a dress, and I bought her first teddy bear. And I remember at the time going, oh my God, it's 30 quid for a teddy bear. But you know what? It was like her special teddy. It was incredible. I never really heard of Stifes or anything before that. And Ted goes to bed with her every single night, and he's her special teddy. He talks to her, he writes her letters and all these types of things. And it's so sweet. And that was one of the things that really kind of drew me as well with you, because I just saw your Stifes and was like, yes, I love the sort of the quality that you sell and everything. So just let's start with your newborn stuff.
Okay, so the first thing I wanted to say about Stife was thank you very much for selecting it. The reason I chose Stife was obviously it's got that history of quality and safety, but Marguerite Stife set the company up, and she was disabled, and it was about 200 years ago, and she was very middle class, and back then it was all about getting married, and if you didn't get married, you were a little bit of I suppose, a burden on the family, very, very poor for women's self-esteem. But her dad saw something in Marguerite. He loved her absolutely to bits, and could see her true potential. And she was very good at sewing. And she invented the first teddy bear. And she created this bear that everybody loved. So she started making more and more. And then her father helped her to set up her own business. So she was an independent, disabled businesswoman 200 years ago. So she didn't need to get married. And the company is still family owned today. So there's all of those positive messages. So within your Steiff bear, you've got all of those lovely positive messages to pass on to your children as well. You know, if you've got a dream, go for it. And everyone's got talents in their own way, even if they don't sort of conform to society. So this is the lovely first Steiff. Lovely quality, obviously CE tested, really soft, really squidgy. It's got the lovely branding on the feet as well, which is super fun. And then they go right up to collectibles, which are sort of hundreds of pounds. I can even get you special order sort of 10-foot tall Steiff giraffes for your nurseries as well. The other thing as well for children, for little children, is I've got lots and lots and lots of glorious wooden toys. I think it's very tempting as a parent to go a bit mad and fill your house full of things that they're going to grow up very quickly. I'd recommend for a baby just 1 or 2 really lovely quality rattles, quality toys. They'll adore them. They won't be overwhelmed on the day, and they'll enjoy their day. They won't be overly stimulated, but they'll still really enjoy their gifts. And something as just as simple as a ball for a baby is perfect, or a little rattle, something like that, for a first Christmas. It's very tempting to go mad, but it's not always good for them.
I'm living with the toys from our first Christmas now. They're everywhere. But to be fair, from an eco-friendly perspective, they went from Sophia to my nephew to my niece to my nephew and back again to my daughter. So we've made sure they've all had good usage. And they'll get passed on elsewhere after this as well. So nothing for the tip. So right, so that's what you've got there. So show me stuff that you've got for say, like my Sophia, she's 5 and she loves getting outside, and you know, she's obsessed with the stars. Last year we bought a telescope. The problem is we can't flipping well use it because it's too flaming complicated and all this, but she's 5. You know, I know you've got something there that might actually just be so good for young children as well. So just tell us a little bit more about that.
So one of the things that's great for positive mental health is exactly as you say, looking up to the stars. But if you look up to the horizon, it's scientifically proven to actually improve well-being. So it's great to incorporate toys that encourage young people to do that. And also to focus on very small detail, again, is really, really good for problem solving, but also for positive mental health. So I have a range here of toys that are very, very simple for young people to use, but that do actually work. So this is one of my favourites. It's the telescope. It's made of bamboo and plant-based plastics. Comes in a little carry bag as well. It's really good quality. So it does actually work. It's got ×8 magnification, whatever that means. But I know when I look through it, I can see things that look really big. So it does work. There's lots of information on the back as well around where it comes from, but it's great for getting them to look up to the horizon and build that into your activities. It's a lovely small toy that fits in a school bag as well, so you can always do a tour sort of via the park or something like that on the way home. If you are an aunt or uncle, the whistle's great fun. Parents probably wouldn't buy this for the children.
You're having a feud with your brother or sister or something, but you still love your nephews and your nieces.
That's it. It's brilliant for the naughty uncles for buying that sort of thing. And again, the magnifying glass, really good quality. It's got this, it's slightly like rubberized plant plastic around the outside just to make it a little bit more robust. And this section is higher than the glass as well. So again, it just makes it a little bit more chunky for little hands as well. And everything in the range, you can see from the whistle, it's quite small, so it just makes it really easy for the children to hold. The other thing that's great for positive well-being for children that age is seeing an outcome from something. So having something to look forward to, and something to look forward to doesn't have to be extravagant necessarily in the same way maybe it is for an adult. For a child, it can be something quite simple. This range is brilliant. It's a gardener's range. It also helps with mathematics as well, and arts and crafts, because you have it looks like handle, but it's not. It's a measurer to help you make the little plant pots that sit inside, which are there. And so you have to learn about measuring, cutting, and making. So there's a lot of work that goes in, well, from a child's perspective, a lot of work that goes into actually planting your seeds, and then nurturing them along, so they actually see something happening as well.
That's beautiful. So that's good for those sorts of ages. Now, what sort of would you say for your 8-9-year-olds?
So something again that's really important that young people can do it, and that's to express themselves. So when they're little, when they're babies, you might talk about the day, they might talk to their teddies, and have their imaginary friends. And as they get older, it's a lot more difficult, because it can be really hard to talk to friends sometimes, and even more difficult sometimes to talk to parents. So getting your thoughts down in writing is absolutely brilliant. I've got lots of journals, right up to sort of Games of Thrones type ones for the teens. But this one I love, because if you're not particularly good at writing, it's got lots of arts and crafts activities in. It comes with a lot of stickers. I'm just going to flip it onto the back so you can see the amount of items that come in the pack. Oh. You've got light up pens which show up magic ink and hidden messages in there. Oh, I don't love that. You've got your little lock and key as well. So it's a great way of young people expressing themselves and just getting things down in writing and being able to process those thoughts, really. The other thing that's particularly good for that age range are the wooden puzzles. So the idea of these is you turn them into cubes. There's various ones in the range, but what's nice about them is that they're not a frustrating puzzle toy, because they are the robot. So if you can't make your cube, you've still got something to show for it. I'm going to apologise now. I'm just still getting over COVID, so hence the dodgy cough. Let's hope that gets out of the system. Oh, hopefully you're better soon. Yes, so these are great as well, particularly if you brought children up with wooden toys and with traditional toys, because they get a real feeling of nostalgia, and it can be very comforting if you recreate something that triggers positive memories from when you're younger, and they won't even realise that that's what's happening when they're playing with them, but it'll just help to reinforce all that positive work that you've done as a parent when they're younger. That's brilliant. And teenagers? So teenagers, my favourite range at the moment is the sterling silver jewellery. So it's all designed in Cornwall by a lovely lady. And all of the jewellery has got particular messages behind it. It comes in eco-friendly boxes that cards. They're not plastic, but they're still really robust, and they've got very nice sort of iridescent design on them as well. But these ones, in the sort of the theme of sleep, as young people get older, again, it can be difficult to use some of those sleep techniques that maybe used when they were younger. But having something that they can hold, even if they've grown out of the teddies, and something that they can relate their thoughts and feelings into and from, really helps. So these dream catcher necklaces, they come in various colours, blues, pinks and greens. Very pretty. Thank you. You can tell them the story behind them. They can then hang the necklaces next to their bedside as well. But also they're eco-friendly, and hopefully they'll keep them then for a lot of years and be able to wear them into adulthood. I've got various jewellery. One of the other bits, the two last bits that I'll cover, is I love this little fairy. It's like a little, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah. It's like a little Tinkerbell type fairy. And she's 3D. But I just like the message behind it, that you're sort of reinforcing young people to sort of keep hold of their dreams, really, and you're never old. And then the very last one, which I think is the most special one of all of them, is this heart locket, which has got the wings at the front. You can open it up, and it's got quite a deep centre, so you can put a traditional lock of hair or a traditional picture in there. But what I particularly like with them is, as a parent, you can write cute little messages, fold them up and pop them in the locket overnight, and then during the day, if they're at school or wherever they are, and they maybe want to read the message, they can just open it up and just have a little look and put it back in. So you can put nice little sweet messages that are just private between you and your children, that other people won't sort of see or know that's there. It's so lovely.
It's absolutely lovely. You know, the stuff that you actually do, that the message that you want to give. Oh, the books as well. You've got some books as well, haven't you?
Yes. So what books is a mix between, I've got the sort of the traditional classic baby ones like your Winnie the Poohs and that type of thing, but for the older children I like to find books that will either really help them educationally or give them a really positive message about themselves. This one is one of my favorites at the moment because it's got Nicola Adams in it, who I've been very lucky to meet, very motivational woman from Leeds, but it's also got people such as Rosa Parks that a lot of people have heard of, and it's a book, it's all Black women, and you've got a really good quality write-up about what they've done and why they're positive. You've got sort of Diane Abbott in there, a significant range of both UK and American women that have made a significant difference in history. And then for boys, we often hear a lot about boys now suffering with confidence issues, particularly academically, because girls, when they're younger, do tend to do better at the moment with traditional academic subjects. So having a book like this about Stephen Hawking, it covers him right from when he was a child through to all of his illnesses, but everything that he's achieved during that. So all of those challenges that he faced throughout his life. And I think he's a really fantastic role model for boys nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got some fantastic stuff. You really, really do.
Thank you.
It's amazing. And it's the sort of you wouldn't just find what walking into your toy shops, which is brilliant. It's so different. It's so unique. I really, really love it. There's so much stuff. So if people want to buy any of these things, whether they've got friends that are expecting children, whether they're looking to get things for gifts for their own children, where can they get them?
And so I've got a website, which is www.mdbgifts.co.uk. So they can go onto the website there, but also if they look on Instagram or Facebook under Morgan DuBoulay, they will find me there as well.
That's absolutely fantastic. And do you have a deadline when you need people to get orders in with you for Christmas?
If you're local, I'll be able to deliver right up. So if you're sort of in the Leeds area, then I'll be able to deliver right up to the big day, really. But if you're a little bit further afield, I use Royal Mail and sign for delivery. I find that they tend to treat things in the kindest way during transit. So if you can just keep an eye out for the Royal Mail notifications. I try to dispatch same day, if not it's next day, depending on what time you order.
And do you, out of curiosity, can you, if someone's got an idea of a gift that they want, can you source these as well for people?
Yes, definitely. So I can find gifts that aren't on the website. The other thing that I do, which is really popular, is I make up custom-made hampers for people as well. So they might have particular needs. They might have a child with particular a medical condition or a particular interest, or something which maybe they find frightening, for instance. So they can send me a message, I can give them a ring, and we can discuss. The other thing that I do is I ship anywhere that people need. So sort of New Zealand. I mean, this week I've sent to New Zealand and to Italy parcels for people. They've seen things from a website. And the other thing that a lot of people do, particularly older people, is they'll talk me through a list of who they want to buy for. I'll send them photographs of what I suggest, and then I wrap everything individually for them. Everything comes with a nice bow. I can also do custom printed ribbon as well. And then I can dispatch it directly to your relatives, and I can handwrite cards and handwrite messages for you as well.
That's absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much, Emily. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me. And honestly, your stuff is beautiful. So I'm hoping some people really come along and, you know, follow you on Facebook, follow you on Instagram, head over to your website. And I believe you're looking at setting up a newsletter as well, ready for January, February. So if anybody wants to get onto that as well, feel free to drop her an email. And obviously we'll get yourself set up on the newsletter as well. Thank you very much. I'll see you later, Emily.
Bye.